recording. Great. So let's go live.
All right.
Live on Facebook.
This is actually my first Facebook Live.
Oh, really?
I've never done a Facebook Live before.
I only done once in a public Facebook group, but I've done loads in a private one where it's just me and virtual assistants I'm training.
Yeah. How many virtual assistants are you training?
At the moment, I have around 50, 3 different batches. And I started 1 month ago, this academy.
It's an interesting idea. I haven't seen anyone do the training classes for virtual assistants. I think that's pretty good.
Because last year I was training virtual assistants for free. I wasn't charging the virtual assistants, but I was charging the clients, and so much headache. And I had to stop. I said, no, it's too much for me. Clients were paying.
Right.
I said, no, it's too much headache. Dealing with clients. Oh, this VA is not good. This is good. This left. This wants this and this wants that. I said, you know what? It's enough. Then I said, you know what? Let me do something else. Let me deal with the VAs. VAs will pay me, and then I'll give them for free to clients. So it's a lot better now.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay, let me put a title. Analyzer.tools walkthrough, is that correct?
Sure.
Walkthrough. English is not my, as maybe you already noticed, English is not my first language.
That's okay. Did you say work through or walk through?
Walk through.
Walk through? Yeah, that makes sense.
2 different words. Walk space through.
Yep.
Okay.
What's your first language?
Romanian.
Nice.
Using, let me put the codes. Using code, discount code. And let me put the link, and then it'll be live. I just had a webinar with Be Cool last week.
That's the repricer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you? You know what? I've followed some of your posts about the repricers. There's like some really expensive one that you tried out.
Snap, yes. Crazy.
So like, was it worth the money or not? I didn't see the punchline.
No, I made some posts. I said, no, it's not worth it. And they pissed me off a little bit because they charging $800 per month, okay? And they don't even have the right VAT calculation. And when I told them, okay, you're charging me $800 per month, okay, I will pay, but I want the right VAT calculation. And they said something like, oh, it's not our priority, maybe in future. Wait, so you charge me $800 and you can't give me a right VAT calculation? How? So do you want me to add the mean and max for every single product manually, to calculate manually? Like, something is wrong here. Look, I'm paying £30 or $100, and they have the right VAT calculation. You're charging me £800 and $800, and they don't even have the VAT calculation. After I left them, they emailed me saying, oh, let's discuss about the VAT. I didn't reply back. I said, you know what, just no, I don't. Anyway,
do you think they cater more to like U.S. clients, so they don't really care?
yes, they mentioned that they are no. They said we are a USA based company. Okay, you are USA, but when you're charging this amount, like you are one of the most expensive prices in the market, I expect some, at least the VAT, which is not that hard. And I went live with some of their VAs. It was someone from Philippines. I thought it's someone from the company, but it was a Filipino. And I was a bit disappointed because this was a real, like a very serious issue with the VAT. And I explained her, but she was a virtual assistant, from Philippines. Like, come on, I'm emailing you, I'm telling you about the VAT calculation. It's something very serious, and we all need it in Europe. And you are sending a virtual assistant to chat with me. Anyway, I chatted with her. I explained her how it works, how everything works. But then I received this email. Oh, it's not their priority. Okay, then focus on you. Tell us.
You should get back to them and tell them that you'll do it for a consultant fee. They should be paying you.
Exactly.
They might, by the way, because I went through this. If you are in US, like I'm in the US, VAT in the US, like to US people is a headache. Like if it seems so confusing and counterintuitive.
I made it
we
so
don't
simple.
like we don't have anything like it here,
I know, but I made it to them so simple, so easy. They just need to hire an accountant, and it's easy. Just few things to calculate. The only thing that they need to calculate is the VAT on sale minus VAT on purchase. Tax you pay on sale minus tax you pay on sale on purchase. That's it. I showed them clearly how to do it. I said, okay, speak with an accountant from UK. Like every cheap repricer in UK or Europe has the right calculation, VAT calculation. Like you pay £30 a month and you get the right calculation. So it's not something like, if you're charging that much, I mean, and I've sent them 5 affiliates. They were paying 800. They all left.
Wow.
The same time with me. Why? Because of they're all Europeans from UK. They all left because of the VAT. No one, because we have lots of skills. We don't want to spend hours and hours every day to add min and max. You want something automatic. But anyway, I'm happy with equal now. Okay, so I'll go live. Let me click go live, and hopefully everything is gonna be okay. Live stream is loading. Yes, we live.
Yeah, it looks like it's working.
Let me mute Facebook, otherwise it will be an echo. Okay, it's muted. Okay, so we are live. Hello guys, please, can you tell me if the sound is okay? Can you hear me? Yes, perfect. So they can hear us. Great. Everything works well. Everything works well. Perfect. Perfect. So
that never happens. There's always some glitch. We're off to a good start.
Great. Perfect. People are here. Great. Yeah. So I have here Alex from Analyzer.tools. If you don't know what is Analyzer.tools, he's gonna explain. He's the master, and I'll let you, Alex, to explain.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ahmed. I'm happy to be here with the group. So yeah, Analyzer.tools is a bulk analysis, sourcing, and profit calculation app for Amazon sellers. What does that mean? Look, we all get spreadsheets from suppliers that may have thousands of products in them, and you need to analyze them and figure out which products are selling well, which products you can make that are selling well, you can make a profit with based on your purchase price and based on Amazon fees and all of that. And the app helps you process thousands of products in just a few minutes and delivers all of that data to you in a grid where you could manipulate it, analyze it, and figure out very quickly which products you should order. That's the main feature for spreadsheet search. We also have sourcing searches like competing seller storefront search that lets you see what your competitors are selling, and you could literally just analyze those and jump on their listings if you want. Also browser search, which lets you do a reverse basically a reverse sourcing method on Amazon's website, as well as something that most people don't know about, which is business product opportunities, which is really Amazon telling you where the gaps are in their catalog. Like that's where Amazon will tell you that, hey, we're getting a lot of demand for this kind of product, but we don't have enough sellers for them. And they'll give you a report basically of where they think, what products they think should be added to their marketplace. So we basically provide a bunch of tools to do things like analyze spreadsheets, but also source new products and suppliers.
Yeah. I haven't used this this feature, to be honest, till now. So this is live, BPO opportunities.
Yeah, BPO opportunities is live. It's and for those of you that use the app but haven't used this, you could experiment with this. But basically, there's two versions of this. There's the already sold on Amazon version and the not sold on Amazon version. Okay, so if you run the already sold on Amazon version, Amazon's going to tell you, here's a list of products that already have listings on Amazon where we feel that demand is higher than the supply. So it's basically Amazon saying, we need more sellers on these listings. All right. Now, if you run the not currently sold on Amazon, that becomes kind of interesting. They collect buyer signals from various sources, and they're going to give you a list of products that don't have a listing yet on Amazon, but they feel like has demand. So you can go through this list, find who supplies the products, source them, and create your own listings on Amazon. So it's just a different, interesting way to source products. Nobody else, no other app even has this. We actually worked directly with Amazon to develop this.
Okay, that sounds great. That sounds great. So just to understand, I will be confused, but so if you go to already sold on Amazon, you will just download an Excel, right, with the products from Amazon. Is what you're saying?
Well, so these will deliver a result. Like, let me see if I have one. So let's see. It'll show it to you in a grid. It'll just be a bunch of products in a grid. Let's see. And I may not have one. These are reports that actually run. They don't run instantly. Like you put them on a schedule and they'll run. Oh, here we go. BPO on Amazon. So this is an on Amazon report, meaning these are products that are already sold on Amazon. So we're gonna see what Amazon tells us in terms of like where they have demand.
By the way, guys, if you have any questions, this is why I wanted to do a live on Facebook. If you have questions for Alex, feel free to ask any question.
In fact, it seems like we might be having an issue with this one, or this, you know what this is? I'm logged into a developer account.
Okay.
So sometimes they do, like with old lists, they move stuff around. So this may not be the best example. But basically, it'll give you a result list where it'll just give you a bunch of products. And they're products that Amazon tells you, like, hey, you should sell these. Yeah, I think my developers are doing something right now with this. That's a really old list. Do you want me to go through sort of like what a spreadsheet search looks like? And
everything possible. Yes, everything possible. That would be great.
Okay, great. Let's do that. So this is the primary use case for the app. So like, for example, I'm going to pull up like a sample spreadsheet. So you may get something from your supplier that looks like this, right? It's just some random supplier sheet. You get a UPC code, you get a purchase price from your supplier, and a bunch of other information. And you need to figure out, like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Like, I can't go through this manually because there's like, you know, there could be 50,000 of these in a spreadsheet. You know, there's too many. So you need some sort of an app to process these, right? And that's what Analyzer.tools will do. So I actually process that same spreadsheet right here. We're going to open it up. And you're going to see there's a bunch of data that the app is going to deliver, right? So if you've never seen this before, it takes, you know, a minute to kind of absorb like all of the data, and it may just look like a lot of you know, it's a lot of stuff, but basically what it'll show you very quickly is which products are selling and which products that are selling can you actually make a profit based on your purchase price. And everything is delivered into this grid, which is really powerful. And I'll show you kind of what I do with this really quick. So first thing I do is I filter for profit, right? I don't really care about anything if I can't make a profit on it. So I'm looking for profit that's, you know, call it greater than or equal to, what do you want to use? $4?
Oh, no, not really. No. I like to see as much data as possible, so I go for minimum 1.
Okay. Yeah, so you could use, so that's the flexibility of this. You could, whatever you're selling, whatever your strategy is, you could use it here, right? So like, let's try 4, and then I'll go over to ROI. And, you know, I also want to see ROI that's greater to or equal to, let's say 40%. So it's going to filter that. And then it's going to, so that we're going to keep going, right? So this is actually, top level category is one of our new data fields that we added. It's going to let you know if this category right here is a top level or a subcategory. That's actually really critical because a lot of the, because when you're looking at sales rank, it's important to know if it's being ranked in a top category or if it's being ranked in a sub. Usually subcategory ranks don't sell very well. Like if a product is selling really, really well, it's probably going to get ranked in the parent category. So that's a new column that we added. But I'm going to keep going here, and I'm going to next go to sales rank and say that I want sales rank that's less than or equal to, let's say 100,000. Oops. Let's see. There we go. So here's what we've got so far. Profit greater than 4, ROI is greater than or equal to 40%, and sales rank is less than or equal to 100,000, right? So we took a list that had like 1,500 products in it or 1,700 products in it, and now we have, you know, 7, you know, just by adding those few filters. So we could stop here, you know, and really start to get into the details of what these products are, because this is a short enough list. But, you know, just going through some of these available columns, you can see you could filter by all sorts of stuff. Like we've got average sales ranks now with 30, 90, and 180 day. lowest sales rank drops. Now, drops are interesting. So if you hover over here, you can see a keep a chart. So a lot of people look at these and they look at the green line and they try to count the drops because a drop typically indicates a sale. So now we have in the grid, the actual count of the drops for 30, 90, and 180 days. So you could use filters now to filter out to create a criteria for the amount of drops that you want to see. It's actually an interesting alternative to using estimated sales.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have the average buy box prices. This is also interesting because when you're looking at a profit calculation like this, you're looking at it based on current information. Like for this product, I can make $4.91 profit after FBA fees, but that's assuming that I'm selling the product at, let's see, at $17.99, right? So, but if I look over here, I could see that the average over the last 30, 90, and 180 days is actually quite lower. So like, this price, you could see it bumped up in mid-October. If you see that blue line, it jumped up.
Yes.
So I could see that in the grid now, and I could say, wait a minute, actually, this product probably has more profit in it than it seems because I think I could probably sell this product at less than, or I'm sorry, there's less product than it's less profit than there seems because I'm not going to sell this at $17.99. This is probably going to sell it closer to $12, right? So one thing you can do here is if you're looking at the profit of $4.91 right here, I could actually adjust this right in the grid. So let's say I'm like, yeah, that's not going to be $17.99. I saw the average. It's going to be more like 12. So it'll actually adjust the profit based on what you enter here into the grid. So now I'm like, okay, based on the historical price that where this product is selling, I know I'm actually going to make more like $4.27 in profit, right? And you could take that further, right? Because you can say also like, look, okay, I'm going to have to buy this product at $1.88. Maybe I could negotiate a better buying price. This is probably a bad example because it's such a low cost to buy.
Yes.
But I could edit this in the grid as well. Let's say I could buy this for $1 instead. It'll actually update the fees and it'll update the profit automatically. So the grid kind of gives you that flexibility. But just moving on, we've got, VAT that you can add if you need to add VAT. You could add inbound shipping here as well. So for example, you might say, hey, it's going to cost me 50 cents per pound or per kilogram to source these products and ship them to an Amazon warehouse. We could put that in and it'll actually calculate the inbound shipping estimate and it'll adjust your profit accordingly. And moving on, these are these Amazon seller in stock rate columns are the ones I'm most excited about. So these are new. We just came out with this update. What this is going to tell you is what percentage of time was Amazon a competing seller on this listing? Meaning that, like, for example, on this one, you could see they've been a competing seller 100%, for the last 90 days, 99% for the last 180 days. So I know that these two listings right here, I'm not, like, if I don't want to compete with Amazon, I'm going to get rid of these right away, right? Like, I don't want to mess with these. This one, I could see Amazon hasn't been a competing seller on this listing at all. So this one's in play. Same with this one. This third one is interesting because Amazon is a competing seller, but very intermittently. Like I may play in this one, maybe I just don't order a huge amount of stock here just to be safe, but I could sell on this listing because I could see the percentage of time. This is a huge feature. It used to be that you would have to like process this data separately, but now with the Pro account, it delivers this for all of the results right away. And the last new piece of data that we added here is variation count. So variation count is just telling you if this product has variance, and if so, how many. So you could also filter by this as well.
By variations, okay.
Yeah, so like, and we could see additional details. So like we have a really short list here, right? So then you're probably going to want to get into more details about like, what this product is and kind of get into it a little bit more. So we have a product detail page you could load that gives you a bunch of, additional information, including information on the product variations. So here I could see that this one has these 3 variants. And what's really cool here is I could see the percentage of reviews that each variant has. So for like here, I could see this one, this black one, has 80% of the reviews on the listing, which means that it's probably getting around 80% of the sales. So it's the only way to really estimate, how many sales a variant is getting, because Amazon assigns the same sales rank to all the variants. So I could see like, if I'm going to sell on this listing, I probably want to sell on this one.
So the estimated sales I've seen on the top left, 30,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong, is per variation.
Right. Yeah.
It's
So
30.
30 is for all the products, all the
Okay.
variants.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense now. Yeah.
So this is the kind of an annoying part with Amazon. So what they do is assign one sales rank
Yes.
to all variants.
Yeah. Then we check the percentage of sales for each. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a kind of a little trick to figure out which variant is selling more.
Yeah.
You also get this bigger calculator here, so you can, mess around and say, okay, like, what if I could sell this for 18? What does that look like? What if I could acquire this instead of 441 for 350 from my supplier? What does that look like? You could quickly do those calculations and they're live down here. You could also look at different charts. We have a 90 and a 365-day chart you could flip between. And we have a little chart up here that kind of gives you a different view of sales rank. Like this one, you could see it's like the 365-day average rank is 58,000. So like, all of these ranks are kind of close to that. But sometimes you'll see, like you'll get an anomaly, like, oh my God, the sales rank looks great today, but it's seasonal. It's not going to be so great in a month. And this will give you that information as well. But the coolest thing I think is like, once you do all this, right? And by the way, you may want to customize the grid too. Like you may want to say, hey, I want to see this wider. I really don't need to see this. I'm going to remove this column. I don't want to see top level category. I'm just making stuff up, just to show an example. I'm going to remove some columns. Simultaneously, you could also add columns, right? So if I wanted to add a column, I could add it anywhere. So you could customize this grid to show you exactly what you want to see. But the cool thing is once you do all that and you apply your filters, now you could come in here and you could save this view. So I'm going to save this as Ahmed 1, right? And the reason this is a game changer is, I'm going to go back now to kind of where we started from, the standard view. If you think about it, when you're analyzing spreadsheets, you usually have like the same criteria, or you have like 2 or 3 versions of criteria that you apply to every single spreadsheet. Like you have your strategy, right? Like if you're pulling it into Excel, you're kind of doing the same filters. each time, every time, and it's a huge waste of time. So instead of doing that, if you save a view like we just did, we just saved Ahmed 1, I could go to any spreadsheet. I could process any new spreadsheet, open it up, and then with one button, I could click my view, and it will apply all those filters, and it will deliver the view exactly the way that we saved it. So if you notice, we made that title wider. We also moved the Amazon link column over here. Like all those changes we made and all these filters we applied, you can now apply them all with one click.
So I've been using this software for a very long time. I didn't know about this, and every single time I even wanted to email you and ask you, look, is any way to save the filters, or I mean, how it looks like, because always I want to have the Amazon link next to the price, the cost of goods, and always I have to drag it next to the Amazon link. And every single time when I was scanning a new listing, I had to do it again. But yeah, this is new for me as well. So this is great. Yes, I didn't know we can.
Oh yeah, this will be a game changer because you'll have like a few variations that you like, a few different views that you set up. And then literally you just process a spreadsheet, open it up, click, and then look at one view, click, look at another view, and like you're done. You don't have to ever really even mess with the filters or the views anymore. We actually provide a pre-built view. It's called the potential winners view. It's very basic, but it's a good one to get started from. So potential winners view is going to apply these filters. Basically, sales rank is less than 100,000. Profit is greater than $4, and ROI is greater than 30%. And if you want to like dork out and really like get fancy with your filtering, this filter builder gives you some pretty serious functionality. You could mess around with this and get really advanced with your filters. So I think we have some questions on the.
Yes. The first question, I don't know if how much you can answer to this, but how much is different from whole inspector?
Oh, that's actually a great question. I'm happy to answer that, and it's relevant. So as you guys probably know, Wholesale Inspector shut down. Like they're no longer around. And I'm actually friends with the founder of Wholesale Inspector. And this recent update that we pushed was very strategic. Basically, we added a bunch of columns, a bunch of data that only Wholesale Inspector had. So Wholesale Inspector had all of this, all the averages and all the historical data, the stuff that I showed you, like the Amazon seller in stock rate. All of those come from Wholesale Inspector. They're the exact same columns. So it used to be only Wholesale Inspector had those. Now Wholesale Inspector is gone, and now only Analyzer.tools has these. No other app has them.
And it's cheaper, and you can use it in Europe as well, because Wholesale Inspector is only for USA market. At least when I tried to sign up a long time ago, it was only for USA market, and it was around $99. I think.
Yeah, exactly. And Wholesale Inspector, and I'm friends with the founder, but Wholesale Inspector had a lot of issues. Like they had a lot of data issues. And one thing that I take very seriously is making sure that we're delivering good data. So I think what we did is we took the good stuff out of Wholesale Inspector and we made sure that it's accurate. Now, what Wholesale Inspector did that was really interesting is they made their app process really, really fast. Like they were crazy fast. And I think that's part of what made them not so stable. We're not nearly that fast. We're fast enough, but we will be focusing on a lot of performance improvement updates in the next few months. So I think what you'll notice is our speed will dramatically increase, and the grid performance will dramatically improve over the next few months.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I've been using for quite a long time, and I do 50% now. It's wholesale, 50% is online arbitrage. I'm moving slowly to 100% wholesale, and always I'm only using Analyzer.tools. Another thing that I like and is that you can, for example, to scan in different marketplaces. Not only in UK, you can select, okay, I want to scan this price list, and I want to see how we to find good deals in USA market, in Germany, UK, France, right? Which is great. At this point, yeah.
So you can see all the marketplaces right here. And I think we'll be adding some Asian marketplaces soon. Japan. We might add some in the Middle East. So we're going to be growing our coverage.
This is great. In the sheet, we see variations. Amazon in stock. Yes, yes. We see variations. You already showed us.
Yep.
And if Amazon is stock, yes, you can see how long they've been in stock. And we can even filter, right? To if you want to ignore the listings with Amazon on the listing, we can just ignore them, like, right?
Exactly. You could filter them right out. And you don't have to process them separately, like some other apps right now. And what we used to do is like you'd have to filter everything down, and then you could only scan if Amazon is a seller for, you know, a small batch. Like I think Scan Unlimited right now, they just let you scan like what you see on the page. So if you have multiple pages, you have to like scan every single page to see if Amazon is a seller. So this will deliver the data on your initial scan. You don't need to do any of that.
Someone is asking if it's free to download.
We don't have a free to download version. You know, the nature of this kind of app, it makes it very difficult to do like a free trial thing. We do have day passes, which lets you try the app for, you know, like $15 if you want to try it for 15, you know, for a few days. But, you know, we've been around since 2016. You know, we've had thousands and thousands of Amazon sellers that have trusted our app. And I understand the concept of free trials. But what I don't want to do, the reason we don't have a free trial is the free users will soak up all of the resources and slow everything down for the paying customers. That's what inevitably happens. And I feel like if you're paying for something, you should get 100% of the performance.
Yes, 100%. Yes. And you can get like 2 days a week, right? Pass?
You can get a 2-day pass for $15.
Yeah, which is great. Okay.
And that works really well also if you only have like, you don't have a lot of spreadsheets to process. So like if you get like 1 or 2 spreadsheets a month, you know, instead of buying a monthly subscription, you know, it makes a lot of sense to just buy a day pass when you need it.
You can even buy 1-day pass.
So we sell a 2-day pass or a 5-day pass.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great. A part of scanning price list, you mentioned 2 more features, right?
Yeah. So one is competing seller storefront search. So this is a pretty simple looking search. All you need is a seller ID. So like if I go to Amazon and I go into some random, you know, if I go look up my competing sellers, like if I sell in, let's say I sell in pet supplies, I'm just going to pick something random, you know, dog food, whatever it is. I may explore here and I might see a seller that is, just try to find a random seller here. Well, that's Petco. So I don't know if that's going to be a good example. Might be. Okay, so here's Petco. Right, so you land on their page. So let's say that Petco is a big competitor of yours. Probably not because it's Petco, but just just a random example. If you look at the URL, this right here, everything before the and sign, where it says me equals, it has a set of numbers and then an and sign. That right there is Petco's seller ID. So for any storefront, you could copy that seller ID. And you can come back into the app and you can paste it in here and see it's seller ID Petco. And I could process this. And there's a few different features, like if I use deep scan, it's going to go super slow, but it's better to capture like really big storefronts. So when you do that, it's going to go into a queue and you'll see a seller search, but basically it's a way to do storefront stalking. Is it's going to go in there and it's going to start pulling all of the products from that seller storefront. And then you can go in and analyze them and figure out and then start sourcing them. Right? And then you can go reach out, find their suppliers, get their price sheets. It's a way to kind of reverse source using a competing seller storefront. Now, it's not a fast search. This takes a while, but it's super powerful. And you can queue them up. Like I've got one here. I could add like 5 more behind this, and then I could go to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I'll have all of their storefronts. See, right now I already have 143 pulled down. So if I click into this.
So we take all the ASINs from the storefront, then from Analyzer.tools you can filter, okay, I will only want to see the products, for example, with no Amazon, with this BSR.
Yep, exactly the same grid. Now, I didn't enable historical data, but if you enabled historical data, then that all would be there. But yeah, it's the same exact grid. So now I could look at this and analyze I have all their products here to analyze. I could look at their brands. I can now go target their brands. This is probably one of the most powerful ways to source new products. Probably one of the most effective ways that I found. So you could play around with that a lot. The other one that we have is browser search.
Can you export the data?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look, we already have almost 2,000 pulled down.
Yeah, that was fast. So we can export all this data. We can export to CSV.
Oh yeah, like we have, and the cool thing is I could export all of it like this. Like if I just click here, I could export Excel file. So that's going to export everything. But if I apply a filter, it's only going to export what's visible in the grid. So you could take a huge list and filter it down to like the interesting products and then just export that. So here it is. So we exported Ahmed.
Is any limit when you exporting? Or you just export all the data?
The only limit is Excel actually has a limit. I think it's like 55,000 No. It's more than that. There's some limit that Excel won't show you more rows. Yeah, but no, you shouldn't have any issues with limits. So here it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. So the other search is competing seller storefront search, or I'm sorry, is browser search. Like we already have over 3,000 here and it's still processing.
That was so fast. That's great.
So browser search is similar, but it's not storefronts. This is more so just like traditional reverse sourcing. So like, for example, I may come in here into pet supplies and really like go into a niche. Like maybe I go into like horses, and then maybe I go into, this is kind of random, right? But like you may have a strategy here. Farrier supply. I don't even know what that is, but I'm just going to go there. So see, this is a pretty small result right here. So now, I could take this URL and I could copy it and paste it here and process, and it'll do, and it just like this search by seller, it'll take all the products from this result and it will bring it into the app for analysis. And it allows you to do the same thing, like it's reverse sourcing. Then you can go, find the brands, see the products that are selling. Well, first you find the products that are selling. I like to, filter by, weight, like package weight, and price. So I'm looking for stuff usually, that's priced between like $25 and $75, because you could make a profit on FBA in that range. And then I'll filter out products that are really heavy. So I want products that are like less than, 5 pounds or something like that, so that shipping costs are cheap. And then I'll filter by how well they're selling. And then I'll look at brands. And then I'll start reaching out to those brands, trying to source those products. So it's a way to reverse source, and that's the cool thing about the app is no matter what your strategy is, the app is very versatile. Whatever filters you have, whatever criteria you have, you could use any strategy you want, and the app just enables it. One cool thing about browser search is if you sometimes you'll land into a category that has like 50,000 plus results, or like some huge amount, or let's say like it might say 20,000, right? Amazon actually doesn't show you everything because it's looking at where you're located. So Ahmed, where are you right now? UK, right? So it's not going to give you the same amount of products from UK than it is for me in the US on the US marketplace, because a lot of these won't ship to UK. So it'll show you less products. One thing the app does is it shows you all the products, regardless of what you see here from your browser. You're going to analyze all the products. It's an interesting wrinkle because the app is using IP addresses from all over the world. So it gets around Amazon's location, filtering. So they're only going to give you a small subset of products in the UK. They're going to give me a different subset of products. With the app, you get the whole subset.
Hey, that's beautiful. Yeah, great way to do sourcing for wholesale. Yes. This is great. This is great. Anything else we have, or that's the main things? However, it's still now only used to scan price list, which works great. And I've done, I think, once long time ago when I sign up like a store for stocking. but I completely forgot. But yes, now what you showed me is good for wholesale. It's really good to do sourcing on wholesale. Any more questions, guys? Do you have any more questions? Anyway, it's very late. Most of the most of my members are in bed, but it was great. Like, it was really great, and I really hope people will try it.
It says 14 comments. Let me just make sure we didn't miss any.
No, I don't think so.
That's weird. Okay. Well, yeah, look, Ahmed, anytime your members have questions, I'd be happy to jump on and do a call like this. Or I'm also very easy to reach
Yes.
on support at Analyzer.tools. I look at all the emails that come in and I answer everything same day. So if your members have any follow-up questions or need help using the app, yeah, I'm available for them.
Yes, this is great. Lots of videos on YouTube. And you can get 50% off, right, guys? If you use my the discount code, it's somewhere in the post on the title, I think. You can get 50% off. Any problem, reach out to Alex. And Alex, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Had fun.